It's April 4th, 2020. If you're watching this video right now, you understand what is coronavirus and everything. But if you're watching this video from the future, then basically what happened was there is this pandemic that been raging all over the world that almost crippling the global economy as a whole. And a lot of countries by this time, in April 4th, has been in lockdown mode, or at least like Malaysia, New Zealand and Australia has been in the restrictive movement order, restricting the travel between countries. This has never occurred, I believe, in 100 years plus or so. Well, this is the first time for most countries to have a lockdown because of the pandemic. I'll put a link down below in the description box, video that I think easiest for you guys to understand, but also you can just YouTube any channels that you like and just learn more about the virus from there. So basically I came in Japan from early March to settle my studies here and everything, but by this time on March 31st 2020 I received an email and call from my travel agent saying that all of my outbound flight to Malaysia from Japan has been cancelled, and I've been in contact with my carriers. They're also saying that the earliest flight would be in May or June. Commercial flight from Japan to Malaysia has been greatly reduced. I believe there's only like 3 flights per week on ANA and JAL, and that price is just so expensive. Usually for Japan, which is Narita, Haneda or Osaka to Kuala Lumpur, the flight is gonna cost somewhere around $500 to $1,000. The last time I checked, the flight economy class for JAL and ANA stretches up upwards of $3,000, which is insane. So as of right now, I've been in contact with my embassies and my carriers to figure out what would happen for us, and maybe travelers like me who are right now stranded in Japan because there is no flight back to Malaysia. And then as of today, in April 4th 2020, the Malaysian government has started to, all of the returning Malaysian citizens are required to undergo isolation at a specified location provided by the government for 14 days in order to look out for any symptoms or ensuring that we did not become a new carrier to somehow spread the case all over again, as a measure to control the spread of this pandemic. So I thought I'll make this video to show you what's happened from my journey all the way from Japan in this time. So it's April 11 today. For the past few days, the Malaysian embassy in Tokyo has been in touch with me trying to sort out my flight out of Japan, and then unexpectedly they also sent me this. They were kind enough to give me one of this care package. So they give some face masks, some instant noodles, some sardines, some chicken rendang, chicken curry, beef rendang, and what's not. Some rice to go with. Thank you so much from the Embassy of Malaysia. So this is what the terminal looks like. Usually 200 to 300 flights daily, probably more. But right now, there's only a few flights today. I think the same situation happened only probably during 9/11. But then still, the 9/11 only affects like the flight in US and Canada. But the thing is, this is like a global pandemic, so nobody gets in, nobody gets out, basically. Just imagine from 200, 300 flights daily to just probably 2 or 3 today. Okay, so a few days after the embassy contacted me and then trying to arrange me to a new flight, I got my flight for Wednesday, 15th of April from Narita. Now, due to the coronavirus, any international flight inbound and outbound of Japan only came in and fly out from from Narita and Fukuoka, I believe. So my flight was originally from Osaka, had to be changed to Narita. So I'm flying to Haneda and then I'm going to get from Haneda to Narita. They tried to arrange for my accommodation in Tokyo for the 2 days. For the flight from Osaka, Kansai to Haneda, I bought it myself, the ticket, around $100, about 10,000 yen, about 400 ringgit. So it has been almost like 3 weeks I'm here. For the last 3 weeks I've been jumping from hotel to hotel for the embassy contacted me and then they tried to arrange for my flight back to Malaysia. Okay, so now I arrived at the hotel provided by the embassy for 2 nights since my flight is leaving on 15 and today is 13. So got a really quite nice room. I mean, I've checked online, it should be somewhere around $80 to $100 per night. So this one was covered by the embassy for about like $200 at least. So as of current, financially, the embassy has aided me with the room, more or less. So, and then I'm not sure for the flight for 15 morning whether they're going to take me from the hotel to the airport or all I have to arrange for the transportation to the airport by myself. And then after this, for the quarantine in Malaysia, all of Malaysians are expected to be placed somewhere in the specified quarantine location, whether it be in hotel or any, as I said, specific location. So we'll see over there. It is quite close to airport, but the thing is it's close to Haneda airport, not Narita, which is I'm going to be tomorrow. My flight departing from Narita tomorrow. So as I've been informed, there will be transportation arranged for me in the next morning. So the sun is up. It's 15 past 5 in the morning. So I got a few stuff to pack. And then probably gonna check out around 6 and then there should be a taxi or a bus waiting for me to take me from here the hotel to Narita airport. Couldn't get much sleep last night, probably because I'm too excited going back to Malaysia. Also part of it because I'm probably sad thinking I'm going to be leaving this country very soon. So I arrived at the airport, Narita International Airport. The embassy helped us. They provided transportation for us from the hotel all the way to the airport. And it's quite expensive. They paid somewhere around 3,200 yen for the bus ride from hotel to the airport. That's gonna be my flight back to Malaysia. Okay, so after for more or less 2 weeks after the first cancellation of flight and everything, right now we are ready to be on board to Malaysia. Thank you to all the embassy, for rescheduling my flight, getting me hotel for accommodation for free, and then transporting from hotel to the airport as well. So the flight from Narita to Kuala Lumpur International Airport, Malaysia, took about 7.5 hours on that day on a 787. I believe there was 30 passengers in total and around 7 crew members. Since it was a very empty flight, soon after takeoff we had our lunch, and then most of us just slept all the way. I slept all the way from right after I finished my lunch and woke up probably about 1 hour before landing and just arrived in Kuala Lumpur International Airport, Malaysia at about 5:50 p.m. Okay, so I've landed in Kuala Lumpur International Airport, Malaysia on April 15 that evening on somewhere around 6 p.m. Didn't take much video of it because most of the area are photos and video restricted. So here's how it goes. The aerotrain services has been completely suspended from the satellite building to the main building. After we landed in Kuala Lumpur International Airport, Malaysia on that day of our flight, they escort everyone from the gate, which is on the main on the satellite terminal, and then they brought everyone on the bus to the main terminal where they thermal scan every single person, and then they're going to interview every single person at the screening zone before letting you out. Just before the immigration counter near the auto gates for Malaysian passport, there is training counter, I think 7 or 6 of it, and then we have to fill some form. The form just asking you for normal information, where you've been, where you came from, do you have any symptoms of the, and then it was like a short interview with I think medical staff. Most of it are doctors, and they ask you, they just confirm with you that you are not having those symptoms or anything. If anything, they're gonna consult with you whether you will be put through the screening test, whether they're going to take swab of it or just straight send you to hospital. So if you pass the screening section, then you just straight on the immigration counter. They verify your passport and everything. You will be placed in a group where they will bring you, all of your luggages to you, and then they place in a batch of, according bus to your designated hotel and everything, which is different for each flight. And there is I think they make it in a batch, maybe like 10 or 30 people, depends on the flight. Because like my flight from Narita to Kuala Lumpur is only 30 people, and then the flight after that is from London, which is I think around 100 pluses or 200, don't quote me on that. Also there is a flight from Indonesia, which is somewhere around 280 pluses. That's the longest. I think that's the last flight for April 15. And then the thing is, for me, because I had a slight fever, so I got flight once over there, and there's like on the screening zone, after filling the form, I just have some because I wrote it down, I have a fever and then I have a mild sore throat, so I fill it in that form. And then on the screening counter during the interview, not interview, it's almost like questioning from the medical staff, they advised me, since I have 2 of the symptoms, so they asked me to do a swab test over there. They place us in a group, they just do a preliminary check, ask whether we have any close contact and everything. They took our temperature, do a main check of everything, and then they decided to send all of us to Sungai Buloh Hospital, which is a Malaysian center for, I think, infectious disease, don't quote me on that. We stay at the not quarantine zone, we stay at the screening zone for about, I think, more than 3 hours. We waiting, they take some of our details and credentials and everything, they clear our passport and everything, they brought all of our luggage to us, which is very nice. I think I see a lot of the MAHB staff over there, and then also the immigration officer. First they give like some small candies and everything with drinks, and then they gave us another not proper food, but they gave some breads, bottled water and everything, so it was okay. And then they brought us by bus from the airport itself. They escorted us all of the way to the hospital, which is Sungai Buloh Hospital. The ride itself, they took us from the airport main terminal, and then we were escorted by police to the hospital. So upon arriving at the hospital, they just brought us everything into the designated ward. They put us into the cubicle, and then straight after that, they checked our temperature and everything. They took a first swab of everyone. Everyone at least going to have one swab, so they send that swab out into the lab to verify whether we are positive or negative for the COVID. So most of the people would be okay with one swab. So after the result came negative, if they have now major symptoms and everything, the doc's gonna give them some medication, check on them within 24 hours. So if they are okay, then they're going to be released, going to be sent to quarantine center, which is hotel. The fastest is around 48 hours, which is today. But for me, my case, because I have sore throat and some fever, my first swab and second swab was taken after 48 hours. I still exhibited fever and then sore throat. So the doctors are still checking on me. On April 18 morning, they take another swab of me, when they send it to the lab. My blood pressure and pulse is a bit low compared to those 3 days prior. So the doctors are a bit puzzled, and I mean they were trying to figure out whether I have symptoms and anything. So I was due to be released on noon of 18, but then because I have some of the blood pressure and the pulse rate is a bit low, so intended to keep monitoring me for another day. So on that 19 morning, they said like, okay, the result came, everything checks out, both of the result of the swab test is negative, so I will be released on that day to the designated quarantine hotel, which is, from the documents that I've read around, it is a 3.5 to 4 star, depends on your luck. And then if you have the money and the wills to pay for it, then you can obviously opt for higher class, which is the option for diplomats and everything. Overall, that we can see from here, the Malaysian government are really taking serious of this. For me, they paid everything for hotel accommodation for 2 days. Then they paid for the transportation from hotel to the airport. I think they take care of my flight ticket changes, service fee and everything, or around 200,000 yen. So it was quite a lot of money. So I contact the embassy, and then the embassy, I don't know whether they just waive the charge because it's embassy asking or the embassy paid for it. Yeah, basically from the Narita airport, we bought on the flight, and then as soon as we touched down and everything, not a single cent was spent. They gave us some food at the at the screening session and everything. And for me, because I was brought to the hospital, I didn't pay a single penny. For sure in the hospital, they gave us every single thing for our daily necessity, shower and everything, food. Hospital itself, they escorted us just now from the hospital all the way to the hotel. So basically, all in all, this video is not comparing Malaysia with other countries, but rather than showing how the Malaysian government take care of its people and then handling this COVID-19 very seriously, this pandemic, and then how their steps in prevent any imported cases, that's how Malaysia got its COVID-19 at the first place. So as a Malaysian, this whole pandemic just show you how capable of our leaders, which is the Director General Datuk Nur Hisham himself, how good he is as a for the Malaysian Health Ministry, which is something that should be proud of we are as a Malaysian. So I hope you enjoy this video. Thumbs if you like it, subs if you love it, and I see you around.